Taft Band students. My name is Johann Sletto, and I'm the Director of Bands at Crown Point High School. You've probably met me during the summer or when you first signed up for beginning band. We've got some unfortunate news that we wanted to kind of talk to you about, but then some good news too that we wanted to share with you. Unfortunately, Mr. Turman resigned as the Taft Band Director for the coming year. And we are very saddened by this. We left on good terms, the administration at Crown Point, myself, Mr. Turman. We left on good terms, and he just has some other things that he is going to be exploring, and we support him in those decisions. We did hold an interview, and we have a fantastic candidate that we wanted to introduce you to before school even got started. So I'd love to introduce Kathy Jackett. Hello, Kathy.
Hello.
And Kathy is going to be our new band director at Taft Middle School. We're really excited to have her start with us. And so we thought we'd do a little interview with her so you would all get to know her before school even got started. So Kathy, did you grow up in Crown Point?
I did not. I actually was born in Washington State, which is all the way on the West Coast because my father was in the military. And from then on, we kind of moved all around. A lot of it was Indiana. But we ended up in Crown Point when I was a freshman in high school.
So Kathy, why is Taft significant to you?
Taft is significant to me for many reasons. When I moved to Crown Point, that was the very first location that I met anyone in Crown Point. Marching band was going on, and my parents took me over to meet the band director at that time. And he said, you know what, welcome to Crown Point, and you know what, nothing like the present. I want you to get out on that field, and we're gonna start teaching you how to march. I had never marched before, so it was one of those scenarios where the band was going one way and I went the other way. But a lot happened to me at Taft. I met my best friend to this day. My best friend actually lived in the backyard of Taft. My husband and I mean, there are just so many great memories at Taft. It's just come full circle for me.
That's really great. Have you worked in Crown Point before?
Yes, I have for many years in different capacities. Actually at Taft and Wheeler and the high school. Officially, some of you may already know me from Lake Street and Timothy Ball.
Very cool. What impact has music made on your life?
So as I mentioned, that we moved quite a bit growing up, and so music was that one thread that made everything seem normal, that friend, that steady friend and companion. And it was wonderful. When I came to Crown Point, I felt like I had already pre-made family. When I went to college, I had a family. As an adult, I have a music family. So it's always been steady in my life, and it's introduced me to more people, so it's just gotten bigger and bigger. And so, you know, whether it's music or it's sports or something else, my wish for everyone is to find that thing that makes them feel like they belong.
So because you were a student in Crown Point once upon a time, do you have a favorite memory from that time that you were a student in music in Crown Point?
There are so many. It was very exciting. I happened to be at Crown Point when the girls basketball team won state. And if my memory serves me, we got a day off of school, so that was always really exciting. I had a lot of great times with marching band. We traveled. My favorite show was when I was a senior. I got to be drum major, and we did, our theme was from Grease, the movie Grease. And so we had a lot of fun. We had a costume change where they went behind this big board, and we all had t-shirts and slicked back our hair, and it was a lot of fun. So I have so many great memories.
So you said the girls basketball team won state when you were in school. Did you know Annie Akiwa?
I knew of her. So you have to remember, because I moved to Crown Point when I was a freshman, the music people were kind of my family. So I knew of other people, but Crown Point's a pretty big school from where I came from. So I knew mostly music people, but I knew of her.
Yeah, because she teaches at Taft now too.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of your hobbies outside of music? I'm sure you have a great passion for music. You and I have played in some bands before and things like that. What are some of your hobbies that you do when you're not doing music?
Well, that's hard because I love to do music. My son's in what's called drum and bugle corps, which travels all around the United States. So that's one thing. But outside of music, I love to hike. I love nature. I've always talked about becoming a storm chaser because I love watching storms and tornadoes and things like that. I love spending time with family. And a new hobby I took up since March is yoga. I love yoga. It's awesome. So yeah, and exploring new places. I love traveling because you learn, to me, I've always told my children the best education you can get is to travel because you learn so much about other people and places. So there you go.
Yeah, that's very true. I love to travel too. Growing up in Africa and traveling out throughout Europe, I think that's very true. You learn a lot about other cultures by being there. So my main instrument is trumpet, and so I tend to gravitate more towards that since I played it the most. And I'm pretty good at all the brass instruments for sure because they're in the same family. What is your primary instrument? What do you do?
Well, I'm in that greater class of family called the woodwinds. I mean, no offense, but no. So yes, my main instrument.
We'll agree to disagree on that one.
That's fine. So I'm in the woodwind family, and my main instrument is the clarinet. However, I have played the saxophone when I was in jazz band. I played the bari sax, the big one. But yeah, clarinet is my main instrument.
Before you were a teacher at Lake Street and T-Ball, you actually taught a lot of private lessons Crown Point on clarinet.
Yes, I did. And I still have contact with a lot of the students, and again, more great memories. The memories just keep piling on, so it's great.
Where did you go to college?
I went to Indiana University in Bloomington. Go IU. Woo-hoo, Hoosiers.
And how was that?
You don't wear any kind of Purdue garb in my presence.
Do you have a favorite sports team?
You know what? I like basketball, and we've always been Bulls fans, but Golden State Warriors were doing really well there for a while too. So, but we actually named our son partially after Michael Jordan.
That's awesome. Now you have a family. What would you like to share with students at Taft about your family?
Okay, well, I have a husband, I have a daughter and a son. My daughter is married, so I have a son-in-law, and I have a grandkitty. No grandchild yet, but a grandkitty. And I have a son who's going to be a senior at Ball State. I have family that lives there in Crown Point, my parents. My brother lives in Cedar Lake. He's a police officer in Griffith. And that's kind of the extent right now.
So do you have any closing final thoughts or maybe a favorite quote?
Absolutely. I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to pull it up or not. Let's see here. Can you see it?
Yep.
Can you read it for me?
I will read it for you.
Thank
Growth is uncomfortable because you've never been here before. You've never been this version of you. So give yourself a little grace and breathe through it.
I love this because it can apply your entire life. I use it all the time because we're always going to face something different in our lives, something that feels like a challenge. And for you, it might be, I'm going to middle school for the first time, or I have a new job, or, I'm really trying to learn how to go over the break on the clarinet. And, it just doesn't come naturally. That's okay. Breathe through it. You'll be okay. Everyone's been there, and, you're lucky you have a lot of people around you that want to support you and help you, and it'll be okay. So just breathe through it. That's what I love.
Really great. Well, we are super excited, Kathy, Mrs. Jackett, to have you on board with us, and we can't wait to see all the really fun, exciting things you're going to be doing with the Taft Band.
I'm excited too. Thank you for having me.
Yep. We'll see you all on the first day of school.